And we are live. Except, ooh, there we go. Okay, now we're
Wait,
live.
who's doing the intro? Do we need an intro?
I don't think we need an intro, no, but we
Okay.
can just say, guys, welcome. This is a Shutter Larva episode. If you guys don't remember, we debuted this probably honestly a year ago, maybe even more. We haven't done many of them. They're just little kind of short episodes of us just chatting with you guys kind of in between episodes sometimes if there's a pretty big gap. There isn't really a big gap here, but SDCC just hit and me and Alex were both free, so we wanted to talk about a lot of the pre-orders and drops and what we think about all these new figures coming out and just kind of catch up with you guys. So, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing great, bro. Just chilling.
Good stuff. You ready for the Hush Batman to drop soon?
Yes, I've been waiting way too long for that, man.
What
Like
was
way
the
too
day you
long.
just sent? What July? What? I mean August. What?
I think August 2nd. I'm
August
hoping
2nd.
that that's true.
Perfect.
I'm
Okay.
so tired of waiting for that figure.
Me too. Oh my god, I cannot wait for that figure.
I mean, I probably won't like shoot it a ton until I get like a new dio,
Yeah,
one of my new dios, because that'll be perfect for him. But
exactly.
I will shoot him, and I will be loving that figure when it drops.
Exactly. How are the progress coming on the dios? I think basically one is done, right? The castle wall, and that's coming to you in the near
Yeah,
future. And then
yeah.
how's the alley?
The alley is looking nice.
Good.
Uh, what is it? Tomtastic on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's making it. It's looking really nice. It's not super far along just yet, but it's looking pretty sick. I'm excited about it.
I'm so excited for you to get that. I'm missing your art. All right. Before we get into SDCC, I think we should talk a little bit about Summer Shots because it's kind of coming to a wrap. If you guys don't know, ACBA is hosting, or I guess it's still going on, but it's been going on now for the past, what, I think 5 weeks, I want to say. But they're hosting an event called ACBA Summer Shots. There's three themes. The first theme being ACBA Girl Power. I believe, no, that was the second theme. What was the first theme?
I forgot what the thirst theme. Thirst theme. Wow,
Oh,
jeez,
it
I
was
can't even
Summer
speak.
Slams. Summer Slams. So it was like a wrestling theme. And then the last theme
Oh
is
yeah.
Stronger Together or a team shot theme. So if anyone is not involved in that, get involved in it. There's prizes. There's a ton of stuff to be earned. And that's a really cool event ACBA is doing. And I think that's mainly it. You want to get into Comic Con stuff, or do you want to touch on some pickups or anything else before we get into this?
I did manage to snatch that
No, you got
Walgreens
you got
Moon
some
Knight.
pickups. You haven't been on here in a while. You got some pickups. Come on. You got some stuff
Oh,
you've been
I
getting.
don't even remember. It's been like 2 years, I feel like, since I was on here, so I don't even remember. But recently I got that Walgreens Moon Knight, and I'm
Yes.
really liking that figure. I'm still trying to figure out the cape situation.
I need to
I,
make a cape. You got me jealous now because I don't want to pay outrageous prices for
yeah,
a cape.
I have got to get a better glue for the one
Yeah,
I'm making, but I just don't want to have to turn around and pay 20 for a GPS slot one when Batman's
exactly.
coming. But
Exactly.
I'm really liking that figure. That made me really legit want to redo the Moon Knight story I did way back in the day.
Which I cannot wait to see you do.
That would be sick. But yeah, I'm really liking that figure. I always have the best luck with Walgreens exclusives. I mean, obviously there's some I haven't found. Like I
Yeah.
never saw the Thing. I never saw Magic.
Yeah.
But
I think, did I see Magic or did I order her? I don't remember. Because actually, a lot of the Walgreens exclusives I am, or at least the recent ones, I just end up, when the day they go up for order on Walgreens, I end up scooping them. And so I don't have to search in stores. Because obviously, Walgreens, I think where me, you, and Finn live are pretty dookie for the most part with exclusives. They
yeah,
don't have a lot of stuff, so you can get lucky by doing that. But I can't believe it looks like the Moon Knight distribution's pretty amazing
yeah.
across
I'm
Walgreens.
actually
I'm seeing a lot of people getting them.
I'm actually really happy about that
Yeah.
because I know some people, like I know yourself, you didn't see Silver Surfer or anything
Yep.
like that. So
Yeah. Exactly. So they did a
yeah,
lot better with Moon Knight's release for sure.
I always have the best luck with Walgreens stuff because Walmart don't. I've only seen like two Walmart exclusives in my life.
Yeah.
Those
Exactly.
things, bro.
Oh my gosh, so bad. All right.
But yeah, what about you? Anything in
Well,
particular you want to talk about?
I don't think there's. I mean, I'm trying to think of like little pickups, but I Moon Knight as well. Obviously, got Moon Knight as well. I think I talked about getting the Vintage Wave, and I think those are really the main figure pickups. The other thing, though, Alex, you should talk about is the big package you received of multiple figures and custom head and all that wonderfulness.
Oh yeah, so art with toys on Instagram. Uh, I had been looking for a Marvel Legends Beast for a while because for some reason that figure is like ridiculously hard to find. I mean, I know it's a really good figure,
Yeah.
but Beast is not a character I thought would be that hard to find. It's kind of like Rogue. Like, why is
Yeah.
Rogue that hard to
Exactly.
find? That's ridiculous. I mean, not that they're bad characters. It's just like you think Wolverine would be the most sought after. But anyway, I've been looking for that for a while, and Art with Toys actually had one on ice that he was willing to sell to me.
Yes.
And he's a customizer. He does some like really bomb work. I don't know if anyone, if you go to his Instagram, he did a War Machine custom a few months back, well, like 2019, I think, and that looks almost as good as the legit, the legit one that Hasbro's dropping. And so I had an old, I want to say it was old Hasbro. I don't know. It could have been Toy Biz, but I had an old Beast head that I sent to him, and I knew he was going to paint that up for me. So I was only expecting Beast and the painted head sculpt, but this dude surprised me with a Endgame type broken Captain America shield. I don't have Worthy Cap, but I will definitely just do a comic version of Worthy Cap.
Yes, for sure.
He also painted up one of those slime barrels for me, and he sent me, I believe it's no, not Infinity War, Endgame Ant-Man, I think.
Yes. Wait, the Marvel Legends one?
Yeah.
I think it's actually the one you have is from Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's from that wave because
Oh, okay.
Wasp comes in that, and I forget the other. Oh, but it is released I think in an Endgame wave because I remember I think Taskmaster's a part of that wave
Yeah.
and some of those figures. So yeah.
Yeah, so he sent me that, which is cool. I think this is one of those pack. He sent a Luke Cage, a comic version, like on the Hyperion mold. I want to say that that was from the Amazon pack.
It probably was. I think it's the same one I have because I mean, there's really slight differences between the SDCC release and the Amazon pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's Amazon.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I want to say that. And then he also really surprised me with Black Suit Storm.
Yes.
Black Storm. She's always been black. He surprised me with Black Suit Storm, and Cyclops and Jean from the Love Triangle 2-pack, which was
Yes.
really insane. I've been trying to get that pack because I never got the original Cyclops,
Hmm.
and obviously I never got the original Jean. And I was excited when I saw they redid her. So I'm super excited to have that. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll see that I posted some photos with all those figures. Well, not Ant-Man and Luke Cage. I was struggling with ideas for them. But yeah, I was super stoked to finally have those. I really like the Cyclops a little bit more than I thought I would because, you know, he has single joints. And anybody that knows me, I hate single elbows. I hate
Yeah.
them. But I actually really like that figure. I even like the two head sculpts. I'm still mad that there wasn't a screaming one.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, right? Like, why give us two unmasked head sculpts that look almost identical besides the glasses and hairstyle? Like, there was
right,
no point to that at all. It's so
right. And
annoying.
what's funny is even though I'm mad about that, I actually like both the head sculpts. I prefer
Yeah,
one of them.
exactly.
I don't know how to describe it, but I still like the both of them. I'm just like, but why did we need two
Two.
different versions?
Exactly.
Like, give me a screaming head. Give me I don't know. Give me anything other than two of the same unmasked heads, basically. But
Yep.
yeah, I really like that. Jean is a gorgeous figure, bro. I love that figure. I wish they would stop putting all the female characters on the same buck, but and with like the same hands. Oh my god, that little whatever that open hand is, they give every single female figure that open hand. I can't stand it, but
Yep.
I really like that figure.
Awesome, awesome. All right, I think that's hauls, right? Unless
Oh
you got
wait!
what else you got?
You have a haul from
Oh,
someone.
I do have a haul from someone. A huge thank you to 796 Studios, who will be a featured guest in the very, very upcoming future. But he sent me a 3A figure. I don't remember the name because there's like basically this figure comes in a 3-pack of other figures, so there's like an overarching name to them all. But in my opinion, he's just very post-apocalyptic. I love the look of him. I've been trying to shoot him, and I was talking to 796 about it, but they're so hard to like get good ideas for because they're such different figures. Like the design, they're so it's like they're human and not human, and like they're so I
Yeah.
love it. It's super cool. So I've had a blast trying to find, ways to shoot that figure and make it look really good, and the generosity of 796 always blows me away. So I'm super
Oh
super
yeah.
thankful to him for sending that my way. I'm so happy. So check him out, and he's done a lot for the Shutterbugs in the past. I mean, he sent us all Spider-Man webs to review and kind of share to the public and get them kind of going so he could sell them, which were fantastic. I know I'm using mine right now with my new vintage series Spider-Man because they're awesome.
Shut up. It's my new vintage wave Spider-Man.
So those are great, and then he's also sent some other gifts our way, including mini mates, other 3A figures, McFarlane Spideys, all to all of us. So he's an awesome man, and we cannot wait to have him on the podcast.
Yeah. Shout out to him, man. He's always been generous. Welcome to the 3A club, Aiden.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, no,
now,
I love those figures, bro.
Exactly. They're freaking.
I'm
amazing.
normally not a stylized person,
Yeah.
Like I kind of like my things to just look normal, but 3A is the exception. I love the way those things look.
They're beautiful. All right. I think we are ready to get into it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so without further ado, Comic-Con reveals. Should we start with the very, very start of like when all this kind of hit the fan, or should we just go from today and backwards? What are you thinking?
Whichever way you want to do it, doesn't matter to me.
I think we'll go from the start just because that's pretty vivid in my mind. So Hasbro obviously had their press interviews. If you guys didn't check it out, there was a lot of YouTubers who got interviews with them, including Bug, Shartimus Prime. I think there was like some more. I don't know what other big name YouTubers got with them, but we got to hear a lot. Bug, I think, was easily the best interview because obviously he listens to the fans, the toy photographers, and asks them questions solely based on that and gives them our ideas, which is awesome. I think he's definitely responsible for a couple of the waves or figures that have come out because he obviously pitches our ideas to them. So that's super awesome. Going back through that, we got a lot of little kind of teases. They said HasLab was actually Sentinel. Obviously, the Sentinel went up, in case anyone didn't know. I don't know how many backers it's at now. I think it's at 11,000 or 12,000, between there somewhere, I think.
I thought it was way more than that.
Really?
I could be wrong,
It
though.
even got higher? Well, I think they stopped releasing tiers, but, I mean, it went up so fast. The backers just flooded it. I think it's still up to, like, I think it's actually up till the August 25th or something, or the 30th, one of the two. So you guys still have time to back it if you want. I think it's like $375, maybe even more, which is, again, for us Shutterbugs being young, and I know I always am spending money on, frivolous action figures and props and just a lot of expenditures, but that is a little too much money to pay for the Sentinel and nowhere to put that thing. It is insanely big.
It is 11,000, by the way. You were right.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But yeah. It's huge.
Normally, with stuff that's priced like that, I'm like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Why would anyone do that? The Sentinel, I actually don't think is insanely overpriced.
No.
I mean, it's a little bit overpriced because it is a Hasbro product. So
Exactly.
like, it's like the price of a hot toy. But I'm not mad at it. I just would never pay that much for anything that isn't like a Dio.
Agree. I think it's a fair price for it because, I mean, it comes with articulated fingers. The tentacles are articulated. Now with all the backers, it comes with actually like two, little 6-inch figures. I believe they're like the Sentinel. What are they called?
Bastion.
Yeah.
And the female Prime.
Yep, exactly. And then alternate, I think 3 now head sculpts, and I think there was even 1 or 2 more other things that came with it. But the add-ons itself from basically this Kickstarter that they did, makes it, I think, even more worth the price tag. So that's nice. That at least it's worth it. I think it's just that it's so much money for all of us to spend on something that is really hard to shoot, and we probably won't shoot. It's really more of a collector's item, like for a collection rather than a toy photography tool, in my opinion. Smaller Sentinels are more, I guess, for that, or just pieces of a Sentinel rather than one whole huge Sentinel that can never ever get in a camera frame.
Yeah, I already know what I would do with it. It would just be like, you see like Storm flying and it's just the Sentinel's head is like taking up the whole frame. Like that would be like the only thing I would do with it. I would never be, everybody knows I shoot very close on my figures. I would never be able to put that whole Sentinel in one shot.
Yeah, it's huge. It's so big. It's insane. So, but that was a really cool thing. And during the
Yeah.
interview, Boog was talking that HasLab, basically the two they were between for picking this project were Galactus and Sentinel, the two that got like the furthest in production. So, I mean, we could definitely see Galactus in the near future. Boog was asking if that would happen, if they would pick, because they were kind of spitballing. They were saying Fing Fang Foom was up there. Again, Galactus, Sentinel. I'm trying to remember. Boog pitched Giant Man, of course. I don't remember the other ones Hasbro said, but they definitely were, exploring these. So we could see those sculpts they were working on and paint jobs and future HasLab projects. Who knows what the price range will be or how big those items will be. But it's cool that we're definitely gonna have that in the future.
Galactus would just be like way too small for me. Like unless they make it like a life size.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's funny. I want a Galactus, but to be honest, I would take a 6-inch Galactus and just shoot him by himself, like on like a chair or something like that. I don't think I would shoot a like legit size.
See, Galactus. I'd be okay if it was the Build-A-Figure size, like the Toy Biz one, just because then you can like have him almost in shots like in the background and you're kind of like looming over the figure. So like again, like you're saying, Alex, like more of like obviously kind of concept-y, like very not obviously in scale, but very just photographic in that way. So I think they could do something like that. I just don't know how like the collectors of Legends, not the toy photographies, would go with that. And I don't know how they would, because I doubt they would just think, oh, this will be good for toy photography if we make it smaller. They'll probably be like, let's make it as big as we can. So I don't know how that's going to work. But it's cool that we're at least getting those projects from Hasbro and they're actually considering these
I would rather there be a gigantic or too small Galactus that exists and not one that doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially with Hasbro's new technology and kind of the sculpts they're doing and the paint jobs. They're doing way better than they ever were. So that'll be nice to see.
I'm excited to see all the fools that are going to try and sell Bastion as soon as they get to, because I need that, bro. I need that, bro. I think it was the X-Force run he was in. I think that was the first thing I saw him in. I was like, bro, this dude looks sick. So I'm hoping people aren't like $600 for the Bastion. Like, no, please sell it to me for like $40 and I will take it.
So yeah, that was, I think, basically the Kickstarter of Comic-Con, were these press interviews. And then basically a lot of the collectors kind of got a little outraged because the first big thing that happened that I know I experienced was the Black Series announced their pre-orders for these awesome, actually. I think Black Series did a phenomenal job. They have basically Ahsoka's Clone Trooper, so the Clone Trooper with the orange kind of paint on the helmet. That looks really good.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I have not seen season 7 yet.
No, Alex, why? It's so good. Oh,
I was trying to do my rewatch, but what happened was some of that started leaking into my writing for Doom World, so that was kind of becoming a problem. So I had to stop, as to not be unintentionally inspired. So I had to pause my rewatch, but I'm gonna pick it back up at some point.
I really, oh my god, it is phenomenal. How far did you get in it? Like halfway or like close to the end, or do you know?
I want to say it was season 3 that I was on.
Okay, got it.
I want to say.
Oh, so you didn't even, okay, got it. I thought you were like started watching season 7 then stopped. Okay.
No. I was rewatching the whole thing because I've only seen it all the way through once.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's how kind of I was. But I don't think I'd even seen it all the way through once. I'd just seen like the main arcs of the Clone Wars because I'd watched that as a kid and like just some of the other episodes. So watching it once fully and then basically up to season 7 was really helpful. But yeah, so they released Ahsoka, the Clone Trooper, obviously with the orange paint, and then a Mandalorian Loyalist, which is basically just the Mandalorians that, not Death Watch, basically, and then the Maul Mandalorians, which are the Death Watch Mandalorians, essentially.
Yeah, those look sick. I like the Clone Trooper. I'm just mad that he has single knees.
Yeah.
I know they have good range, but everybody knows I hate
single joints. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yep. So that kind of ticked me off. Those look nice.
Understandable for sure. But
I don't know what's going on with the with the pre-order releases lately. Yeah. They've been kind of dookie.
Some companies are doing great. Some companies are doing absolutely trash. Hasbro did drop the ball on this. So it was a Walmart exclusive. When it went up, so you could search it basically, and it wasn't coming up anywhere. So finally someone sent the links. I don't know how they found it. And then when you got to the links, they were all sold out. And then throughout the day, they kept coming back up and then selling out and then coming back up and selling out like every hour for like 5 minutes it happened. So you really had to like catch it when it was hot. So this pissed off collectors, but I was able to score 2 of the clones and an Ahsoka. So I'm super happy about that. And I think at the end of near the end of the day, I think everyone was pretty much who wanted one got one, because there were so many opportunities all through the day where they'd go back up for people to get them. So I'm hoping that everyone who wanted it got it, because it was these look really good. So
Yeah.
that's what mainly started us off. And I don't know if we're gonna get to everything, because there's obviously a ton of companies doing exclusives and reveals, just the stuff that we normally collect for the most part. So then we obviously got the G.I. Joe pre-orders are not, yeah, I guess they were Target exclusive pre-orders, I believe, that started going up. And that was, collectors were up in arms about that. This was, I think, the most controversial, I guess, collectors were pissed off the most, I guess, about this pre-order. Which I didn't even try. I didn't even know they went up in the morning. I probably would have tried to get... There was one, because this wave actually looked pretty good. All these new ones. What's her name? Oh my God, the Baroness. Yep, I think I was gonna try to get the Baroness. That was the main one that really caught my eye. But I think other than that, I was pretty good at skipping out on the rest and maybe waiting for retail. But man, apparently these released in seconds. These were super quick pre-order. Everyone was crazy about it. Even NECA, I think, like tweeted at him, like making fun of it. It was crazy.
NECA of all companies making fun of you.
So it was crazy. But some people scored it, some people didn't. But that was the craziest probably pre-orders. Then Mezco, obviously kicking off their like MezcoCon online, released their Golden Roach, basically Golden Gomez, their summer Comic-Con in a box type of deal, where you basically get all of their products. You get the badges, the bags, the comics, the little vintage figures, like all of it basically in one little box. And I think that was $170, I want to say, around there. And so they released that, and I know Alex wasn't a fan of it, and I honestly...
Boo,
the only thing in here that looked good was the purple smoke effect, and all I thought about that was Nightcrawler. I think that'd be a super cool effect for Nightcrawler, but literally everything else is a pass. And again, one day, whenever I get to SDCC, whenever that is, I do want to pick up one like con exclusive like this, where you get obviously all of the add-ons. You get like the vintage figures. Basically, it's just like the booth. But this is definitely not the move. I mean, we can go on a little rant about this, but Mezco's putting so much time into Gomez. It's unreal. And so much effort in giving it their all and giving it the best sculpts they can, the best articulation, the best accessories, and then basically leaving all their other figures to the C team of Mezco designers to work on. And so,
it makes sense why they're doing it, because it's like, oh, we don't have to pay licensing for Gomez because that's our situation, and people will just buy like 60 of these just to have them. But I would have no problem with all these Gomez's if a lot of these characters like Bishop, who we may talk about a little bit later, or Death Dealer didn't have single elbows.
Exactly.
Why? My philosophy with figures this expensive, it's like, I don't want you to have basically worse elbows than a legend. Like, I'm not saying the range isn't there, but like, I don't, like, come on, man. Like Netflix Daredevil and Punisher like broke my entire soul, bro. I could not with that.
So sad. And it's definitely their fault. I can't believe that they're being so... It's mainly Mezco just being like, we're going to put everything into this, where they could be like, yes, we're going to obviously be creating Gomez really well, but let's also create these figures really well so people are also buying them as well. Instead of just, let's focus on Gomez. We'll send some of like our B sculptors over there to give them obviously like the minimal resources to make them okay. That's what it feels like every time they're doing it. So it sucks, but it's again, it's cool. I definitely see the Gomez appeal because I own Agent Gomez and I actually really like that figure. I think it's some of Mezco's best work, which is why it bums me out that they can't do that with Netflix Punisher, who had single jointed elbows, Netflix Season 1 Daredevil, who had single jointed elbows, Bishop that's coming out that has single jointed elbows. I mean, there's so many opportunities to give us these amazing figures, but they're not.
Yeah. Yeah,
which
it's
sucks.
it's it's just disappointing most of
Yeah,
the time. But
exactly.
um, not all the Gomez's are bad. I really like the first, the agent one and the street one.
Yep, those are. I think those two and Lone Roach are my favorite. The Samurai Gomez. I think
Yeah,
those three are the only releases I've actually like wanted, um, of Gomez at least. I liked the Pink Skull 3-pack. It was an outrageous price. That's why I still haven't picked it up. But I still think it's a really cool like design. I like the kind of like gangy, like really I don't even know how to describe it. Hipster, just like the striped shirts and the jackets and the Molotovs. I really like that design, but the price was way too high. And then the Ninja Gomez, the Stealth Gomez, and then the Gold Gomez, and then now this Gold Ninja Gomez is just. I think they missed the ball on all those. Not because they're bad figures, but the designs don't appeal to collectors who are really just like kind of not really like fully, I guess, involved in this Gomez story, with Baron Benz and all these characters.
yeah,
So yeah, but again, some releases have been cool. So they released that. I know Boog, a ton of big collectors didn't pick it up just because it was so pricey. Some did, obviously, so that was kind of here and there. And then I think we should just go company by company at this point. So we'll just finish out the Mezco reveals and go to Hasbro and go to NECA and so on. So Mezco's next reveal was Bishop, which I'll let Alex take it away on this because I know Alex feels some strong feelings towards this figure.
yeah. I mean, we're just gonna ignore the single elbows because I could talk like an hour about how much I hate
Exactly.
those. But the head sculpt is just so weak on that thing, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he has no chin. He looks like he doesn't know where he is on like the stock head sculpt, and the bald one just looks so like in the books, bald Bishop looks like a whole unit, bro. Like
Yeah.
he's like built like a tank. That's how he looks when he's bald,
Yeah.
and he just kind of just looks like he just lost his hair
Yeah.
on the
100%.
Mezco figure. And even
100%.
even the angry head sculpt, I'm just not really a fan of. Like,
Yeah.
my problem isn't the design or the body because I actually think that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I like that they went with that version, but everything about the head sculpt just looks
Yeah.
gnarly to me.
Well, that's what
And
I
the
was gonna
fact that
say. I think the body actually, I like the armor the design, like the sculpting on it. I think in terms of the body and like the belt and the guns
yeah,
is some of Mezco's best work. I mean, all the details and paint they did is actually really good, but it completely gets ruined by single jointed elbows and then the head sculpts that just look really weird.
yeah, and he has no red scarf at all, which is a
Yes.
little bit of
Oh
a
my
bummer.
God. Or effects. It doesn't look like he's coming with effects, which could change because we haven't
Yeah,
seen the actual, accessory images. We've only seen the promos of him in poses with the different heads and the gun. So he could have effects, but I don't know if he
if he
will.
does, he has to have effects. If he doesn't, that's like the biggest ball drop ever. Like, how can you
Exactly.
not? How can you not give Bishop effects? That just doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Exactly.
I'm looking at you, Hasbro.
Yep. And I will say I don't know because Mezco in the past has taken fan advice really quickly if people were upset about it. Doesn't look like anyone's
Yeah,
too upset about the Reza scarf, but for the Iron Fist, when he didn't have the yellow, I think
Sash,
yeah, sash on his waist, Hasbro was fairly quick to fix that. I want to say, like within a week or
Mezco.
two of that. I mean, yeah, sorry, Mezco. Within a week or two of that going up on the promo images or the pre-order, I forget which it was. I think Mezco went back and redesigned and put that on there, and now it actually looked really well with that. So hopefully they can do that with a red scarf or effects in case if he doesn't come with them, because that's absolutely outrageous for that figure.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, the body actually looks really good. Like,
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of surprised at how well that. I'm a lot of times Mezco takes a little bit more liberties than I like
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
Like Cable, the kind of all blue outfit, I was like, this in the big astronaut boots. I was kind of like,
yeah,
this is kind of just okay. And
yeah.
even the sometimes, well, not sometimes. What am I saying? The X-Men Cable
Mm-hmm.
kind of was like, to
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
But this design actually looks good. So
Yeah. So that was their first 112 collective reveal. Besides, obvious, like basically the SDCC in the box was a whole different thing than their kind of reveals that they were doing. And so they released their reveals were like 5-point articulation figures and the MDS stuff and a ton of the LDD stuff. And then they got to the next 112th reveal, which was Death Dealer. Um, I don't know how you feel about it, Alex. I think it's cool. I don't think it's anything needed. I know I won't be picking it up, but I think just seeing this really reminds me of how amazing Mezco would be at creating Game of Thrones figures or Lord of the Rings figures. I can definitely
Oh yeah,
like the designs, the sculpting, the accessories that they put on Death Dealer really, yeah, reminds me of the work they could be doing for those lines if they had the properties or if they decided to create figures.
yeah. I think it looks cool outside of the elbows, which is a fat miss again. Death Dealer is not something I would pay like 90
Yeah,
plus for.
yeah,
I mean, I love the Frazetta paintings, but I'm just the only reason I would get that would be to go with Conan, and I'm not even sure I want Conan because he has singles. I can't believe Mesco, bro.
exactly.
I'm so mad about that. I wanted Conan so bad because anybody that follows Marty McCusker on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, they know he's a huge Conan fan, and he got me hooked on the books. But man, those single elbows, I hate it. I hate it.
With every right, yeah, it's bad. So after they released that, this was kind of weird, but they didn't post anything on IG. They didn't send out any emails, but they just randomly. Okay, so when they released this Gold Gomez, right? They had him fighting. It's obviously D Amazing who's taking the promo pics. They had him fighting these gold ninjas, these gold skull ninjas, and we hadn't heard anything about them. They weren't released or anything. And then randomly, again, no email, no post, it just comes up for pre-order. So luckily, collectors were quick to post about it, so everyone had a chance to get it. But it sold out, I think, within 5 minutes. I'm surprised I even got one, which I did end up pre-ordering one on that release, and it sold out. And then the waitlist was up for, I think, another like 2 or 3 minutes, and then that sold out. So it was completely gone. And I think this is coming in September. And then they released later in the day, obviously, a second pre-order that was going to release in January or February, I believe, to April in that time zone, which is pretty big time zone. But they released that. So that was crazy. And then today, I believe, they released the pre-order for King Kong, which I didn't even know. Again, they didn't post about it. Nothing happened. But they released the pre-order for King Kong, which is $40, which I actually think is a pretty fair price because he looks really good. He comes with some accessories and stuff. And I feel like, obviously, with NECA, you'd probably be paying about $30 roughly. Wouldn't you say, Alex, for a King Kong figure, I believe?
You missed one Mezco reveal.
Oh, I'm getting to that. I'm just talking about the pre-orders real quick. Cause I
I got you. That actually looks kind of cool. I don't think I would shoot a King Kong.
Well, I think you would. Your style very much is like cinematic and would be good for close-ups like this.
I just don't know like how much fun I'd have shooting King Kong. But like the most I would use him for would probably be like some type of Gorilla Grodd or something like that.
Exactly. That's so true. Gorilla Grodd. I didn't even think about that. That's perfect.
But it does look cool. I really like the way it looks.
And I think they're asking, again, a fair price considering NECA's price they charge and a lot of these other King Kong and Gorilla, obviously makers. I think it's actually a pretty good price they're charging. I'm so happy it's not $80 because I would have been pissed if it was.
Yeah.
So mad. And then obviously the reveal today, which was their 9th reveal, which I am 1000% picking up for multiple reasons, is their John Constantine. Which, I mean, and again, mainly it's not because I love the character, although I think his character is pretty cool, but I need to learn more about him before that's the main reason. But one, he comes with a cigarette, which is a great prop. He's just a great body. I love the red scarf and kind of the overcoat, very similar to Commissioner Gordon. The effects, I love the beaten up head. That's perfect for goons, for kit bashing, for Mezco. So this, just with those reasons, this release is a no question for me. But also because he's John Constantine, I think that character is a little cool. With very little I know about him, I think he's cool, and I want to learn more. So, what are you thinking about, Alex?
Yeah, I actually like the way this one looks. I haven't read much Constantine, but what I have read, I really liked. So, I mean, it's not a character I'd pay $80 for.
Yeah, of course.
But I think I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
He probably has single joints underneath that trench coat, though.
Oh God, I'm wondering what body he's on. He might be on the Joker body. I can't tell though.
Is he? Could he be on Gordon?
He could be. I think. I don't know. I'm trying to look. Maybe. We don't have, a lot of these, obviously, announcements, we don't have enough images to see. And luckily, I don't know when these pre-orders will be going up because all the reveals pre-orders haven't gone up, but then the con exclusive, I guess, items of Gomez have gone up, so it's very odd that these 1/12 figures that aren't Gomez are on pre-order, but then the Gomez ones are going up. So it's a very odd system. So I don't know when those will be up, but can't wait to see it. And then one little thing about Mezco before we switch to Hasbro is that Mezco's shipping out the John Wicks, and I think collectors all across the board had credit card issues, mine included. At first I thought it was just me, but it was everyone, so I don't know what the hell what happened to Mezco's servers when they decided that was happening. But it should be shipping within the next day or two, so that collectors will have that in hand. And now let's go to Hasbro. So our first big Hasbro kind of reveal, exclusive, whatever, was the Hellfire Club pack with Emma Frost. That's Logan, and then I don't know who the other two are.
Logan? No, that was Sebastian Shaw. I'm trying to remember who they made because there's been different members. Who did they make? I have to pull up the image again. I know it was Emma Frost and Shaw. The only one I'd want is Shaw, because that's like the only one I care about. Let me see. Who else did they make? I'm trying to pull it up now.
I think there's Shaw, Jean Grey, Donald, or...
Oh, yeah, Donald Pierce was in there.
Yeah, Donald Pierce. And then Emma Frost. Those are the four. Jean Grey, Sebastian Shaw, Emma Frost, and, Donald Pierce. Those are the four that came, and there's some books, there's some accessories. It comes in like kind of similar to the Defenders pack and a lot of the SEC obviously packs like the Raft. It comes in basically a convention exclusive type box. This is a pass for me, but I will be trying to get that Emma Frost as a single probably figure on eBay or Facebook or wherever I can, because I definitely like that Emma Frost figure a lot. But everything else I think is a pass for me.
Yeah, I'd only want Shaw. I have no use for for anyone else.
Exactly.
Like Hellfire Club is not X-Men villains that I really care about outside of Shaw and Emma. So I don't really need Donald Pierce. I don't really, especially in these goofy outfits. You know what I mean? They don't even look like they'd be good civvies, to use otherwise.
Exactly.
But I really like the way Shaw looks.
Yeah. And then our next reveal, which is basically they were doing all of their Fox X-Men kind of releases and reveals at once. Pre-orders also went up for those. I don't know how those went. I think they were not great, but they were better than obviously the G.I. Joes. But we got first the Logan pack with Professor X and Logan from the movie Logan. The only reason I want this pack is, one, the wheelchair, because it looks like a normal wheelchair. It's not like a Professor X specific wheelchair, so that'd be a good prop. And mainly because Professor X's body, as someone said, I think it was Rick Dom, said it'd be a great Uncle Ben, which I completely agree with.
Really want that pack just Professor X for civvies. I would not shoot Professor X like that because that depressed me in the movie.
Exactly.
But I really want that Logan though. I'm kind of mad that
Logan's
it's a 2-pack.
cool. And again, it's another suited body. So I'm not complaining about that, but I think Charles Xavier's really, that body is what I would get the pack for mainly. And I definitely see myself getting it whenever it hits stores. So it's really cool.
I think isn't that exclusive? Isn't that supposed to be the SDCC thing?
It might be. I don't know. And then obviously, which I don't know if this was an exclusive or not yet, but then there was the Storm and Thunderbird pack that went up, which has
not an exclusive.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. But that had people up in arms as well, because I think that sold out really quickly wherever it was put up too.
Yeah, I want that, but I don't want Thunderbird.
Exactly. So
I have nothing against Thunderbird. It's just like he's been dead most of the time in the comics, so it's like. But Storm that's the best Storm I think that they made so far. That's not my favorite costume. My favorite is like the more modern swimsuit look.
Yeah.
And then 90s and then her giant size X-Men look, but that looks insane. I actually really like the way that looks.
Yeah, I really like that look as well.
And it's not because she's pinless, Hasbro.
I will say though, I'm happy they're starting the pinless, because one thing, again, I have the Spider-Man figure from the new Vintage Wave, and I hate that it has red pins in the blue area under his arms. It ruins shooting the figure from any area where you'd see that, because it looks so dumb.
I don't know how I feel about the pinless look, because on the one
hand,
hand, I'm like,
if they did pins, but if they were the same color as the paint that they're on, then I'd be fine. Honestly, I don't really care too much then. But if you're creating like a red stock pin that's gonna go through a blue blue sculpted, arm, then it looks awful, awful. It ruins the figure. So either
Yeah,
they
I
do
feel you.
pinless, or they fix the paint problem, or even just the color that they obviously manufacture these pins in for the specific figure, and they just fix that. So
Yeah, I'll have to. I think the writer's Punisher is penless. I
mhm.
think so. I'll have to see.
Well,
Like I'll have
Dwight
to.
was saying some really cool stuff um, about how they actually have a mold that they're working on now that they finished sculpting and it works, of a pinless double jointed female elbow.
Oh my God, I hope that happens.
Yeah, and they said it's going to be coming out sometime this year.
I can't believe
Or
it's taken
I don't
this
know if it's this
long
year
to
or
get
next year.
doubles on the female
Exactly.
figures.
Exactly. Well, he said always they couldn't do double joint elbows because they require the pins, and then it like the double joint and the pins looked a little like it made double joint always made obviously the female arms look really big, and he didn't like that. But they said now that they have the pinless technology, they can do smaller double joints on the female figures, and I think that's where hopefully that'll take off this year. That'd be
I'm
amazing.
hoping, and I hope they redo Elektra with
Exactly.
that.
Completely agree. And something that I wouldn't say bothers me with this pack, but I don't remember which figure that's coming out in which line. It might be GI Joe, but Hasbro released a figure with a cloth cape coming out. I don't know if Alex, if you remember it.
Whoa, whoa! Breaking news! Breaking news!
Mm-hmm.
Mezco just teased Fantastic Four.
No way. Oh my God, they did. Oh my gosh. I think it has to be Reed Richards, right? They got to finish the Illuminati. There's no way they would do anything else.
Watch, it's gonna be freaking Herbie.
I'd be so upset if it was like again. It'd be cool to get like Human Torch, Invisible Woman, but come on, just give us the Illuminati. Such an easy team to complete with Mezco, and it's also just a builder to the Fantastic Four. So I guarantee it's Reed Richards. But I don't know
Yeah.
why. Or do you think it's gonna be a pack? Because it says reveal number 11, 1/12 collective Fantastic Four. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I don't
Because
know what they're gonna do.
anyone that goes on IG and sees it's a video of Johnny, so I'm gonna say pack on this one. I'm gonna say it's a pack
I'm thinking it's a pack,
because
which is gonna be outrageous.
they did
But
Ghostbusters, so
yeah,
I think they might.
I think it's gonna be a
That's
pack.
not anything I would get. I do not need Fantastic
Mhm.
Four at Mezco level.
Yeah, I don't.
Doom
I'm
though, if they
me, so
did
I don't know.
Doom, I would die.
I know you would die. That would be probably one of your all-time grails, if not
Although
all
if they
time.
gave him single joints, I would actually riot.
Oh,
If
that's facts.
I would actually burn down the entire United States if they did that. Anyway, what were you saying?
Crazy.
I'm sorry for
No, no, no,
interrupting it.
no. Trust me, that is breaking news. I'm shook by that right now. I don't know what the hell it's gonna be. Some people are praying for Doctor Doom in the comments or Mr. Fantastic. It's kind of crazy if you read them. Everyone's praying for it. But anyway, Hasbro released a figure with a cloth cape. I don't remember who it was, but why would you for this Storm and Thunderbird pack put in two sculpted capes in different positions where you could just do one cloth cape and literally
Yeah,
you'd be
that was
fine?
weird
It's
to
a
me.
really weird concept they would do.
Especially since I actually liked the material they used for the '90s storms.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's all you had to do. So that was really, really bizarre
Although
they did that.
although I'll take two capes over one.
That's true. That's true. We're happy with what we're getting. So you win some battles, you lose some. So Hasbro then released images of a lot of their other Fox stuff, but mainly the thing that grabbed me was their Old Man Logan and Old Man Hawkeye type of 2-pack. Which
I actually thought those were going to be separate.
I think that these two are. I don't know if they're my favorite release, but they're very close to. I love the old the Hawkeye. I love that we actually have a bow with the arrow in it finally. That they gave us that so we can actually get him posed like that. I love that they gave us the quiver. I love the sculpt and the look of all of these. I love Logan. I love that. I don't love the Old Man Logan head that comes with him without the hat because it's just the one we got previously and it's not great. But I
Yeah.
love the hat head sculpt. I think they nailed that. So that is phenomenal.
I was a little bummed that was a 2-pack because one, I don't really get 2-packs often, but
Mhm.
two, I wanted the baby Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. But either way, I'm super happy about that. And then they released a lot of the, again, Fox stuff. They got the Deadpool, Negasonic Teenage Warhead 2-pack. They got the Domino figure, single-carded. And I think those are the main Hasbro reveals. And the
No,
Deadpool
they did,
I like, but...
They did Cable too, which I will definitely be getting
Wait,
to
what Cable?
use as
What Cable?
Deadpool
Josh
2
Ball and
Cable.
Cable. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
will
sure.
use that as a goon. That will definitely not stay as Cable, but that looks nice. Also, I think people are starting to find the 20th anniversary Wolverine, the Hugh Jackman one.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I've seen kind of people finding and reviewing that.
Yeah, that actually looks kind of cool. I want that.
Yeah.
I was worried that was going to be in a 2-pack, and it's not, so I'm kind of happy about that. I think Hugh is the only kind of thing I want from the Fox stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Professor X looks cool. I would get that if it was single carded. The Magneto, the Fassbender heads look terrible, bro.
Completely
They
agree.
look,
So do
and I
the oh my god, who plays his younger Professor X?
no
Starts with an M.
McAvoy.
McAvoy. Yeah, I think both young heads don't look good.
Yeah, but I don't need Magneto because I've never been big on the Fox costume. It's not
Yeah,
bad. I just don't need that. But
agree.
Hugh, I will definitely be getting Hugh.
Yeah. So that was Hasbro Legends, then Black Series, which we already talked about the pre-orders, but they also had some con kind of stuff. They had a Wampa pack, which looks really weird. It's actually less detailed than the first version they did, so that was weird. And then they did an Endor pack, which I think was like $110, which I think is absolutely overpriced for re-releases and figures that we can get elsewhere. So it came with Han, Luke,
Yeah.
Leia, and then I believe one of the Ewoks. So that was Black Series. Now, there were some Transformers reveals, but that's not really what we're going to talk about. And then Mayfex revealed and dropped the pre-orders for a classic brown suit Wolverine and a Batman, the New Adventures animated series Batman figure.
Now both of those look sick.
I'm so happy with the Wolverine. Just the claws look 10,000 times better than the first release. 10,000 times.
I've never been a fan of long claws
Yeah.
at all. It's all. I know some people are like, okay, but he's a comic book character. I'm like, yes, but I just need it to make sense in some capacity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100% agree. And I think these claws are perfectly scaled. They're a little curved. They're pointy. It's perfect. I love the heads that he comes with. And I had the first Wolverine release from Mayfex, and I sold it because I didn't love it that much. But then this Batman looks incredible too, especially because Essentials, the DC Essentials line of the animated series figures, the Batmans are going for 80 plus. This is an insane deal for the same price as those are on the aftermarket, with 10,000% more articulation, a cloth cape, a sculpted cape, and you come with alternate heads. I mean, it is the perfect figure for that.
Yeah, I actually really like the way it looks. That's probably not something I would get because
Yeah.
if the Hush Batman wasn't coming out, I would instantly be getting that that animated Batman. But because that's coming out, and you know me and stylized stuff, I'm just gonna go straight for that.
And the Hush again is obviously the more classic look. It's less stylized, like you said, so it's way easier to get into and photograph with other lines. Where obviously the animated series line and look is so much more different and unique, which isn't a bad thing, but you just can't shoot it with really other civilian bodies that you have. So you have to kind of pick and choose what you obviously do.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was a cop for me, just because one, I want to support the line, and two, I've been looking into kind of getting the Essentials ones, but I just never, obviously they're so damn expensive and I was never about to pay that much. So I'm super happy Mayfex obviously released this. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that actually looks really cool.
I know Brian
I'm a little bit
so happy about that.
I'm a little bit weirded out that it's the New Adventures of Batman and not
The only
the
thing I'm
animated series.
happy about with this is that obviously we can get an awesome Tim Drake Robin from them. We can get a Nightwing and a Batgirl, and hopefully not a new series Joker, but a Justice League or Batman Beyond Joker, because it's basically those two designs, Justice League and Batman Beyond, are combining the New Adventures and the first 3 seasons of the Batman animated series show, and like combining that look, and I think it's the best look of Joker we have had in the animated series form. So I'm hoping they release that version, not the New Adventures version, because if anyone knows that, it looks pretty bad.
Yeah, but I think those are two good reveals. I just really need this Hush Batman to come out
Exactly, 100%.
so I can rest.
Yep, completely agree. Now, the two companies that have been they were really shining over the past day or two, NECA and McFarlane. So we'll talk about NECA first. NECA released a new Jason figure. It's Ultimate, or it's New Blood Jason, I guess. Comes with some cool accessories. Nothing I really need.
Yeah,
Or
me
want, 'cause I
either.
already have a Jason, but it's cool. And then obviously this is probably like top 2 or 3 of my favorite reveals of the whole con so far. But this Ghostface figure.
Oh my god, bro, I need that.
Oh,
I'm not
mm,
really a horror movie guy. Like Scream isn't like my thing, but that I love the Ghostface design. So and Simon Hill's photos from way back of I
yep.
think what was it, the
Yeah,
8 inch
I think so.
Ghostface, that made me really want to figure. So I'm super excited
And it's
about that. I will
cloth, and it
definitely
has
shoot
the
that.
alternate, bloody head sculpt, the like kind of worn down mask, the green mask. It comes with 3 knives and the scythe. I mean, it is everything I would have wanted from NECA. So I'm so excited for that. So excited. Um, then we have this has a lot of older collectors super excited. We got the Back to the Future reveals that everyone's insane about. Specifically, we have Marty McFly and
Oh my
Doc,
god, I
and
need every single one of those. I need all of them. I need all of them.
I'm definitely getting Doc and Marty. I think those
Yeah, for those that don't know, Back to the Future 1 and 2 are like some of my favorite movies of all time.
so good.
They're not the greatest movies of all time, especially since 3 exists,
Yeah,
but I love those movies, man. So I cannot wait to get those. I can't decide if I want both Martys or just one
yeah,
cuz I, I I really want I want to combine the looks. I want the
yeah,
jacket and stuff from the first movie, but I want the shoes and the hoverboard from the second movie. You know what I mean?
yep,
So
yep.
I kind of just want to
100%
make
agree.
my perfect Marty. But oh my god, I need and Biff. Oh my god, I need all of them, bro.
It's so funny. But yeah, so everyone's super, super excited about that. NECA released a lot of turtle reveals. Obviously, they've been really plunging most of their resources into that line, whether it's a cartoon or the movies. They've been doing
Yo,
pretty.
remember when we thought that SDCC would be the only way we'd get turtles from them?
And then after SDCC, they released them single carded, and then now they're releasing them in 2 packs. I think they did 2 waves of the single carded figures with new sculpts and paint, just slightly different,
Yeah,
for a second release of the single packs. And then we got these 2 packs coming out. So
yeah,
if you missed any of them, if you don't own them and you want them, you've had your chance multiple times. That's just kind of
yeah,
sad.
pretty much,
So
pretty much.
it's pretty crazy. So that's awesome. In terms of NECA hitting shelves, I know people are pretty crazy about NECA's the Casey Jones 2 pack, both the animated series one and specifically the movie Raphael 2 pack is super scarce, and people are selling it for crazy money and trading it, and it's just insane. So
Yeah,
those have been hitting
I
stores.
really hope I can get that movie pack.
Yeah,
Um, I like the articulation on the comic one a little bit, the cartoon one, excuse me, a
yeah,
little bit more, but the movie one is gonna go with my movie Raph. So
yeah, which is
I've
awesome.
been wanting a Casey Jones since I came out the womb, bro. So like I really hope I can get that figure.
I'm so upset with myself. I don't know if I told you this, Alex, but so I've been to Target in the past I think 4 days in a row just to like keep looking and keep seeing if their NECA's coming out with stuff, Legends, Black Series, because my Target's had nothing. Like they don't.
Mhm.
My Target doesn't even have Legends on the shelves right now, Alex. Like none, not a single one, which just blows me away. And it has 2 Black Series left, but in the NECA section, I think yesterday, no, 2 days ago, they had the animated Casey Jones 2 pack, and I forgot and I didn't even like think about picking it up because I was like, oh, it's the animated look, I don't really want it, and I'll just pass on it. And then I realized how much it was going for and how crazy people are about it. And I was like, oh, I probably should have picked it up, and then I went back and it was gone.
Yo, I think Brian is in the chat. Brian, boo this man. Boo this man, Brian, in the chat. Boo this man.
He's the only one in here.
Yeah.
This man.
Everybody boo this man. Anybody listening to this, boo this man. Just for not
That's
picking
so
it up. You
funny.
just have to at this
I
point.
know, I should have. It was dumb. It was so dumb. But at least I'm happy because my targets had a lot of. It was like pretty short on the horror figures for a while, but now I've been seeing a lot of the different Jasons, the different Pennywise. Who else is there? I think those are the main two because Jason has so many releases. No Michael Myers because I think he only has two. No Chucky, none of the other horror figures. I don't think a Freddy's there. But there was actually, I think there was a couple of Alien figures, actual Alien, not any of the supporting cast. But yeah, so
Brian booed you in the chat.
of course he would. He so would. So that was mainly NECA. And again, they had a lot of pre-order problems as well. And then obviously we get to some. This kind of has the collectors up in arms. I know there was a debate in P&P about whether McFarlane was better than Hasbro right now, which again I still think Hasbro all the way. Some collectors don't. But McFarlane kind of showed out this weekend with a ton of reveals, a ton of
Boo.
stuff. See,
Boo.
the only problem I have with McFarlane is the scale. That's really it. That's
My
the only
problem
thing.
is that it's McFarlane.
See,
That's my problem.
and this was the debate in P&P is this guy was like, oh my god, McFarlane's showing out on Hasbro because in their first year of creating articulated figures, they're balling out. And I'm like, wait, okay. Do you not call those brittle figures with like single joints everywhere articulated? Like they were articulated, they were just dog shit. Like being completely honest, they were horrible. And so this guy's like, "Oh, okay, but they weren't hyper articulated." I'm like, "It doesn't matter. You said articulated." Like McFarlane, you can't because he's like Hasbro's had so much time to perfect this and like get up there. McFarlane's doing it so quick. I'm like, McFarlane's been here for years with a standstill of horrible, horrible figures. Every single release. Even bad, like their sculpting was even meh at best on most figures. Call of Duty figures were the exception because they looked pretty good, but still horrible articulation. Fortnite is really when they push the boundaries and they're like, okay, we can actually make really good articulated figures. I just don't know how we're going to do this with lines. And now they've combined it where they got the sculpt, they got the articulation. A lot of these look great. But for toy photographers, this scale is so difficult to get into because there's no props that fit, there's no cars that fit, there's no anything that fits it. And you can't combine it, obviously, with other lines like you can with Legends, Black Series, all these different lines that work with other 6-inch figures. It's literally just 8-inch. Diamond Select, I think, is even a little smaller compared. So it's a little hard to get into. But either way, I think this Flashpoint Batman looks amazing. I really wish he was 6-inch because I think it looks awesome. I love the paint, the sculpt, the articulation looks awesome.
I'm like in a mixed bag with McFarlane because on the one hand they made Spawn, which I'm still hoping to get at some point because I really like the way that figure looks. Some of the White Knight stuff looks good, like the Azrael, the Joker, the Batman.
Yep.
But then just some of the other stuff, like the main Superman that we got has single elbows, and like his chest is like way bigger than his lower torso.
Yep. Very much hit or miss.
Very much. So and like they're like heavy into the Batman Who Laughs stuff right now, and I'm like not even remote. Like outside of getting Batman Who Laughs himself, I don't need anything else.
Yep.
And the scale is weird, but they have some good stuff. I'm not super into a lot of it, especially if Mafex keeps on with the DC stuff. I think that's where I'll be getting my DC stuff from.
I completely agree because I can see Mafex rounding out hopefully a full Justice League team, and I would never collect any other DC figure again. I mean, besides villains, that's it, and that'd probably be from Icons, not McFarlane because of the scale. But they released an Arkham. I believe it's an Arkham Knight Batman with a Deathstroke.
Boo! Boo! Oh, I hated that so much, bro. That Deathstroke looks terrible.
Yep, agreed.
Some people are like, it looks amazing. I'm like, bro, his head is tiny. His arms are too long. Oh my god, that's like, I can never decide between classic Deathstroke or that for my favorite Deathstroke looks.
Yeah.
So I've been so mad with them with their Arkham stuff, bro. The Joker isn't even that bad. It's just the head sculpt is terrible.
Yeah, the head sculpt and the paint is absolutely awful. Same with the Batman. The Batman like core figure, like the sculpt is actually pretty good, but the head sculpt looks awful. It is nothing. Like
and he has single elbows too.
Yep.
So it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, so again, McFarlane's very, very hit or miss, and honestly, again, I'm not really into the line, but the 2-pack they released of, I believe it's Nightwing and Red Hood, Jason Todd, looks awesome, I will say. I really, oh my god, if that was 6-inch scale, I'd buy that probably within a second to get it for Mafex Hush Batman. But I think, even though, again, they don't really go together, but I just love the look. I think those are probably, I think that's McFarlane's best reveal in my opinion this weekend. I think that pack really shines out. The Flash packs are not terrible either with that Cyborg. I know a lot of collectors love that Cyborg.
Yeah. I think the way McFarlane would be able to get me on their side is if the stuff that they were releasing wasn't, one, so Batman-centric, and two, just more like standard characters, you know what I mean? Like, okay, give me a standard, like, this is your Green Lantern. Give me a standard Sinestro.
Exactly.
Give me, they would get me. Because right now, the Batman Who Laughs stuff, the anime, like, it's too all over the place for me.
Exactly. 100%.
I kind of just want, like, a like a straight and
definitive.
narrow release. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. 100% agree. And again, yeah, I don't love the approach they're taking because they're going all over the place. And something Brian was saying, which again is why I think Hasbro's 10 times better than McFarlane, is one, McFarlane, and I think Poncho or Rick Dom said this, but they were saying that in P&P that the scaling of McFarlane obviously doesn't even go well in their own line. Like their figures
Yeah.
don't scale well together. Flash and Cyborg are the same height and they look so much different. I mean, it's really weird how their figures don't scale well together. So I think McFarlane has so much learning to go to do, obviously, and Hasbro has all the lines, obviously. I mean, the Lightning collection will trump McFarlane. Just that by itself, not even Hasbro as a whole, because the articulation and the accessories absolutely destroy McFarlane. And then not including Legends giving us so many characters and obviously Build-A-Figures, and the same with Black Series doing pretty well now. They've actually kind of surpassed that awful phase they were in. I mean, G.I. Joe's obviously showing out right now and giving us all these classic characters and, you know, a lot of this stuff. So I think Hasbro's definitely winning. But again, I like the flash packs. I like the Joker that they released. It's kind of cool. Again, super big, so I will probably won't be getting most of these, if not any of them.
Yeah, McFarlane really needs to adopt Hasbro's way of doing character-centered waves.
Yeah.
Like, give me a Green Lantern wave, and then it's like, you get Hal Jordan, you get Guy Gardner, you get Sinestro. Okay, now give me a Batman wave. Don't just do a whole bunch of random.
Exactly.
That's just not working for me for some reason. Like,
100%
give me a
agree.
Wonder Woman wave. Give me Wonder Woman. Give me Ares. Give me,
Yep.
do that. You know what I mean?
100% agree. And I think rounding out McFarlane, I think those are the main, unless I missed a big reveal, I think those are the main reveals, at least I know about in terms of collecting, like what I'll actually be focusing on. Obviously, I know Storm Collectibles and Bandai, I think, had some certain reveals, but they were mainly Dragon Ball Z and Street Fighter reveals, with I think maybe one Mortal Kombat reveal, but it wasn't a huge character or anything. I think Scorpion went up, actually, and he was an SDCC exclusive, but he's like $140, which I will never pay for a Scorpion ever.
No.
So, but I think those are the main reveals. If anyone has anything else we can talk about, you can put it in the comments. But
I really, really, really want Storm to just make a Jax already.
yeah, I agree. 100% agree.
They would nail Jax, bro.
Yeah.
Like their Gears of War stuff. That's the
Yeah.
perfect. That's like, come on, do it already, Jax.
Exactly.
I mean, I'd want a Liu Kang, although that's just a weird scale for
Yeah,
me.
and for Storms, like how they do their ninjas and stuff, I feel like they wouldn't really nail that as much as they would
Yeah.
the bigger figures.
But Jax, who else?
They already did Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
I think they did.
I'm trying to think of the bigger characters.
Yeah,
You know what
so
I mean?
am I. Exactly. When ones
'Cause,
they
like-
haven't done yet, too.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, they haven't done Johnny Cage. They haven't done,
No.
but I'm like, I don't really want that from them.
Yeah,
'cause
and I
feel
don't
like it
want
would
them
just
to
be
do
too
like
big.
Sonya or any of the female characters really, because I feel like they won't. Yeah, they won't nail it either.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could do Ferrator, but I would never get that.
See, that's what. Yeah, there's no point. It's just Ferrator is
Right.
just. Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, no. Maybe they could do Aaron Black. I don't think I would be too mad at that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool thing for them to explore.
Garrus from 11.
Oh yeah, they could definitely do that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not mad at Storm, but sometimes I'm like, these are just a little too big. bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100% agree. And then I guess Brian wants us to talk about just kind of figures that are dropping at stores right now, which we kind of touched on. But War Machine is actually showing up. I think Finn was saying War Machine will be dropping at least at his Target in the next week or so, week to 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. I know my Target has a vintage wave in the back, which I will be every single day going to Target to pester them to bring it out. This lady today was like, yeah, but because I asked, I was like, can you search this DCPI up for me, this guy? And I've done that for the past 4 days, and they've just said out of stock. So I went today after I didn't luck out at the garage sale, and this guy was like, oh yeah, we should have him around here somewhere. And this lady was like, what are you looking for? Basically almost like the manager at Target, essentially. I don't know why she was over there, and I was like, oh, it's a Spider-Man action figure. So she was like, oh yeah, the Spider-Man ones aren't coming out yet. They have a street date of August 1st. I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, so they won't be out here unless they're out here by accident and someone accidentally puts them up. And you can't even if they are, you can't bring them up and ring them up because they won't show up, which I'm a little worried about, because if that happens and obviously I'm not there and a collector does it, they might just steal it, or they might just like freaking, obviously scan it and it might not work, and they'll find a way to buy it somehow.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to try to be there every single day to ask and just see, because if I can get one of those workers, obviously, who's not the manager, to go back there and grab it, and then I can try to ring it up, then that'd be helpful. And I know Al found his workers obviously made a mistake and put it in the clearance aisle for $10, that wave.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to be checking for
I
that, and I
remember
hope
I
War Machine
got.
comes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I remember I got lucky with the 80th Thor because I did
Yes.
not see it on the shelf, and I asked this worker, like, bro, can you check in the back for this Thor I'm looking for? And he went back and found one. I still think it was very suspicious that there was only one in the back
Mm-hmm.
because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
are there any others? Because my friends are looking for it. He's like, nah, man.
Dude,
I only saw one
Target
there.
luck is insane. I remember I had asked for, like, I don't even remember what wave this was, but it was probably like a year ago. I probably had asked for this, maybe a little more than a year ago. But I just asked, like, hey, can you check in the back for this wave? And he comes out and he's like, these are the only figures that we have. They're all legends, but they're not that wave. I think some are, like maybe two were, and not the ones I wanted. And then Psylocke from the Warlock wave was sitting in there, just by himself. No other Warlock wave figures, just by himself. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you just had this in the back? And this was probably at least a couple months, if not more, probably half a year since his release. So he wasn't obviously coming in shipments, I don't think, to the store. So it was insane that he was back there, and I picked him up. So Target luck is, you can either get very lucky or very not lucky. And so far I've been not lucky, so I'm hoping that'll turn around soon.
Right.
But I'm hoping, apparently War Machine and the Vintage Wave are showing up at Target, so you guys can scoop those. Again, ask for the DCPIs, which I know I have. I don't know if you have them, Alex. I'll send both. I think Finn has the Spider-Man, but I don't know if we have the War Machine, so I'll send that in the chat
I do
too.
not have the War
I
Machine.
forgot
I'm
who I
gonna have
got
to.
it from. I think Toy
I'm
Shiz
gonna
on
have to
Instagram.
look after Batman drops.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Which,
Side note.
mhm.
Has anyone seen Stanley in stores? I haven't been to a Target in like a while.
I haven't seen him in stores. Again, I got mine from Target Online, so I don't know if he's in. I haven't seen him in stores at all. So I have no idea at all.
Yeah.
But my store has no freaking legends at all. So
Yeah. I got to get him at some point. Batman has thrown everything through a loop. I was supposed to have him by now.
I know. Oh my god, delay. I cannot wait. Him and Wick, I'm super excited about. Obviously Wick because of the accessories, and I'm just excited to have a Mezco Wick and just a Wick in general. But I am 10,000. Like, I am so much more excited about Batman. That is the figure that I'm waiting on for the past couple months. Like, I'm just counting down the days till I get him. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
my most wanted until I found out about War Machine and the vintage Spidey
Yeah.
wave this year was Doom, Stanley, and Batman. Yeah.
And I think that's basically the list. I mean, so far, I think Hasbro this year, besides the Spider-Man Vintage Wave and obviously the single card releases, and I don't, was the 80th anniversary this year, Alex, or was it like
No,
last year? That was last year.
that was way last year.
So I think honestly, Hasbro hasn't put out some really good waves. I like, in terms of like collecting, like the Black Widow wave was, the Game Reverse wave was, like, obviously there was kind of one or two figures that were like cool and collectors wanted that are comic book based. But I'm trying to think of these other waves. I guess the Age of Apocalypse wave, and if you are very much into that story, a lot of people are collecting that. But I think they really haven't, for me at least, hit the ball on a whole wave until the Spider-Man Vintage wave.
Yeah, I've never liked a full wave of Legends until this one, this
Really?
Spider-Man one.
Never? I think the Juggernaut wave, when it first came out, was, I think, my favorite wave almost
There
of
were
all
some
time.
waves that were close, but I've never looked at a wave until now and wanted all the figures. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think,
Juggernaut was close, Man Thing was close.
who did you not want in the Juggernaut wave? Because I think there was
Um,
Rogue, Iceman, Wolverine. Who else was in that wave?
I
Kitty
gotta
Pryde,
look.
and I think
I
there's
gotta
one more.
look.
But and then I think the same for me was with the Apocalypse wave. I think that one was with Gambit. I'm pretty sure. Maybe no, that can't be right. I don't think Gambit was in the Apocalypse wave. Was he? Tiger Stripe Wolverine was.
No,
Psylocke
Gambit
was.
was in. Oh no, he was in a Apocalypse Wave. I
Yeah, he
think.
was, and then Gambit. That's when we almost. I think Jubilee was in that wave too, and I think that's when we
Oh,
basically
the ones
rounded
I
out
didn't
our
want
blue
from
team.
Juggernaut was Havoc and Phoenix
Got
Gene.
it. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. Phoenix Gene, I like the body, but the head is so bad.
Yeah.
If you can swap the, obviously, mainly the Jean Grey 2-pack with Cyclops head sculpts on there, it makes the
Yeah.
figure amazing. But the stock head absolutely ruins the figure.
Yeah, and Havoc is just on the Bucky cap with like,
Exactly, and
you
very
know what I mean?
basic, and the head sculpt's very soft. Like I don't love that figure either. And the new Havoc they released in that 2-pack with Polaris is fire. Oh my god, that sculpting is amazing.
But yeah,
Just I
Hasbro
hate the
waves.
waves.
I feel like every year there's like a period where it's like these waves suck, and then there's like some really
Yep,
good ones. That
yep.
just kind of happens every year to
I
me.
think so
But I
too.
think it feels more so that way, that it's kind of been sucky because of COVID-19. You
I
know what I mean?
completely agree because yeah, normally it's I think the first probably 2 or 3 months, maybe even 4 sometimes is what happens. Like last year we had that Kingpin Build a Figure wave, which really missed. Besides the Build a Figure, a
Yeah,
lot of those suits weren't what we wanted. A lot of the figures were not great. I'm trying to remember the other I think 2 or 3 that came out that year. That the Black Panther 2 wave came out, and again the Killmonger figure, the Claw figure were amazing. But then we got
yeah.
re-released of the Civil War Black Panther, which no one really wanted that much. The T'Chaka figure was actually pretty cool. I dug that. I didn't love the Vibranium Black Panther with the purple on it. I think they didn't do a great job of giving us that. I feel like they could have done better. But anyway,
Yeah.
so there was that wave, and then I think we had 1 or 2 more that were not amazing. But then obviously 80th anniversary came out like kind of summer to fall area, like that time, and that
Yeah.
basically just obliterated everything else. So I think that's what
Right.
always happens.
And
But COVID pushed
Wendigo
that
and
further. Yep, Wendigo. Yep,
um, Caliban had some good stuff.
yep. 100%
So yeah,
agree.
there's always
Those
just
two
kind of
packs.
weird waves.
Exactly.
I think Retro Spidey is the best wave I've
100%
been
agree.
collecting for. You know what I
I
mean?
think so too. And again, it's not without flaws. Obviously, Goblin could be a little better with the
Yeah.
eyes they could paint, and a lot of the other, mainly Goblin and Daredevil for me, I think are the only two that are like I'm like, and I guess Peter Parker in terms of the glasses. I
Oh
hate that
yeah.
it comes with those trash glasses. They're very cartoony, and I just if they
Yeah.
had, Wisman sent me this image because I was talking to him about having the wave and me reviewing it and stuff, and he sent me this image. I don't know what glasses he used, but he replaced the glasses on the Peter Parker, and I swear to God, that figure now is a masterpiece with that. I'm gonna screen share it with you, Alex, so you can see this because it blew me away. I mean, it is so much better. Or was it DM or was it Facebook? I gotta check. But anyway, if they had done that, it would have made the figure so much better. But I think the vintage wave is amazing. I seriously love it, and I
Yeah.
cannot. I'm praying, and I know Boog liked this comment, so hopefully, whenever he gets in the next chance to sit down with Hasbro, where hopefully Hasbro can see it. But if they give us on that Spider-Man body, essentially a Daredevil, I will be
Oh yeah.
so happy. So happy.
These are what I want. I want a Black Panther with that same style. I want a slightly buffer body
Yeah.
than the Spider-Man. I want DD on that body,
Yep.
and
100% agree.
I want black suit
Yep.
on that body. Um, I don't need every suit on that. I will gladly take a bunch of suits on that body. You know what I mean? But those are like my most wanted. If they, I really hope that they can find a way to do Iron Spider. I don't really think that there's a bunch of hype for that, the comic version.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
if they do Iron Spider on that body, I might die.
Yeah. That'd be. Again, the body offers so many possibilities, and obviously, again, Daredevil's definitely mine because it's just my favorite character, and I really want him in a good Legends form. So I cannot wait, hopefully, for them to get that right. But
Yeah.
I'm so excited. So
Also,
excited.
Brian put in the comments some stuff we forgot about. They had teased Stiltman and Rogue.
Oh, wait, what was the Rogue tease? Because people were saying the
It was a
tease
glove.
Oh, it was a glove. Got it.
Yeah, I just decided I was just going to be patient on Rogue because they've re-released pretty much everything.
Yeah, which
You
is
know what I
super
mean?
true. Yeah.
So I'm just
So it's a smart
patiently
move, 'cause
waiting.
that head sculpt's so bad, and hopefully they can do a better version of Rogue. But for some reason, that figure goes for outrageous prices.
I'm still mad. I saw her one time and I couldn't get her, but I was like, it's Rogue. Like she might peg warm.
Yeah.
Nope. Not
Yep.
even at all. Like yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stiltman, I'm eager to see what that looks like. I don't know. That might be like a joke, but I don't know. McDuke said Kentaro for Mortal Kombat would be good for Storm. Yeah, that
Agreed.
would be sweet.
For sure.
Oh, those glasses look way better.
Right?
I don't know what those are.
So it makes like the figure look so much like Peter Parker, and I love the Gwen. Like, oh my god, So much
Yeah, that,
better.
that looks so much better. I wish we could show it, but
Yeah,
yeah, that,
exactly.
that looks a lot better.
Wisman
Yeah.
seriously did his magic. I cannot like. I'm hoping he shoots this because these look so like he's. I don't know how he's so good, but he's so good at making these figures look phenomenal. Like I'm just sending more images to Alex so he can see him. But I
Yeah.
mean, he literally. I don't know how he does it, but I cannot. Like I want to photograph this like these poses so well because he's super good at. But he doesn't photograph as much anymore, obviously because he has a family. But yeah, so
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, so I think those are the main things dropping right now in terms of Legends. Black Series, I don't think there's anything. I guess that the new wave with the new articulation for that X-wing Luke is dropping, but I haven't seen it anywhere. But it is
Um,
coming in
I
stores.
did see somebody saw on, I think it was box art. They saw something that kind of looked like the bill of a hat. If they do Cad Bane, I will buy 5 of them.
Ooh, they are doing Cad Bane.
Yeah, bro. I've been waiting on Cad
There
Bane for
was
so
this
long.
post that had their upcoming figures. I don't know if I saved it or not, but it was like it was like those obviously when you're a Target employee or GameStop, like you can kind of see the lists of like
Yeah.
it's all white and then it's obviously black text. Like they're doing Cad Bane 100%. It's a Clone
Oh,
Wars
thank
release.
goodness, bro.
And I think they're doing a couple other clones as well coming up. I forgot what the names are and everything, but those are in the near future as well. So
Yeah, Cad Bane and ARC Troopers are like the things I've been waiting on.
exactly. Exactly. They're doing and it is a Clone Wars style similar to the Ahsoka. So obviously now they've done the Ahsoka, they can really get into like actually creating the figures looking like they're from the Clone Wars, because that was always a problem we had is like how are they gonna match that style and figure form? Will they make it look good or bad, or how are we gonna mix and match with the with the real movie figures and the Clone Wars, and that Ahsoka
Yeah.
looks phenomenal. I think way better than obviously that first release from Rebels. So I cannot wait to see what they do with Cad Bane and all the rest of the Clone Wars that they're gonna probably put out.
Yeah, I still need to get an Ahsoka. It's funny. I love Star Wars, but I just don't get a lot of the figures because it's so hard to shoot them on sets that make
which is
sense.
super true. Super true. It's always been like that because they're always on different worlds and futuristic, and Coruscant's such a like there's no diorama that looks like Coruscant that I've
Right.
seen. So it's like it's super hard to obviously in Tatooine. Obviously, some of it's easy, some of it's hard. You can easily shoot kind of deserty beach shots and make it look like
Yeah.
Tatooine, but you cannot shoot easy forest shots and make it look like Endor or easy snow. Like it's very there's some easy elements like Hoth and Tatooine, and almost everything else is super difficult to shoot and make it look really
Yeah.
well.
The stuff I'd want to do is always like interior stuff, just because
Yeah,
everybody has done
exactly.
the exterior stuff because that's easier.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, I really got to get an Ahsoka at some point.
Such
I
a
have,
you got to
I
watch
have,
season 7 before you get
I
into
do,
Ahsoka.
I do.
That
I've
arc
luckily
is
haven't been
beautiful,
spoiled.
which is good.
Luckily, I want to see the whole shit. I want to get the full experience. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, oh, I forgot
Exactly.
about that from season 5. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I kind of want to see the whole thing. Oh, 796 is in the comments. What's up?
What's he say? Oh,
What's up, Maine? We gave you a shout out earlier.
we did for the amazing gift, and which I don't think we've talked super, a lot with 796 yet, but he's gonna be a very very near future guest, which will be awesome. Oh,
Yeah, that'll be
shut
sick.
it, Brian. Cad Bane with single elbows and knees. He says.
Oh, Brian. I'm blocking Brian, bro.
Don't
I'm
put you
blocking
put
Brian,
that
bro.
bad thought out in the universe. It's gonna happen. Okay, we're thinking good thoughts here. Black Series has learned their lesson. We're gonna get some good stuff.
They give Cad Bane double joints and butterfly joints and
They gave Farm Boy Luke double jointed elbows. Come on, they can spare Cad Bane
please spare Cad Bane,
Yes,
please.
for sure.
I really hope I can find that Beskar Mandalorian when it drops.
Me too. 100%
Because I
agree.
did I never saw the first one, but I didn't get it because I'm like he has a much better look. Watch in season 2, he's gonna like have like a red costume or something. He's gonna look totally different. It's gonna be like, no, I need to buy another
That's
one.
so funny, but so true. Oh my god.
Because he really doesn't have any distinctive colors yet, which is kind of
Exactly.
that's something that I kind of just imagine for all Mandalorian looks. You know,
Yep.
like Boba Fett and Jango, who weren't Mandalorians, had specific colors. So I'm like, oh
Yep.
no, I may
Yep.
have to get another one.
All right, I think that's all the reveals and pre-orders and mainly the Comic-Con news. Again, it's not over, but we are reaching kind of
Yeah.
the tail end of it. Obviously, we had the bulk of it in the past couple days, so today is one of the last days. I think today's the last day of MezcoCon. I believe is there one more day? I think today's the last day. I think a lot of the SDCC reveals specifically for Legends have passed. So I think we're
Yeah.
definitely nearing the tail end of this whole thing, and just the experience it has. People have been saying, and again, I've never been to SDCC, but people are saying it is as stressful or even more stressful online as it is in person, just because snagging these pre-orders and knowing when they're dropping, and for me at least, because it's Eastern time, which is funny because always SDCC's Western time, but it's hard to like be ready for these companies dropping these figures so early in the morning, at least my time, and balance that and juggle it with all these other companies and the reveals and kind of figuring out what is on your list of pre-orders, what's not. And so this has been absolutely crazy, but I'm happy with coming out of this con basically what I've snagged, what I've passed on. I'm pretty happy with what I chose, so that's awesome. Super happy about
Yeah.
that.
What's funny is, even though SDCCs didn't happen, I feel like unless stuff changed, I'm not saying it didn't, but I'm like, this kind of would have been like a very soft SDCC for reveals to
I
me.
completely agree too, because normally Legends, they have at least when we're all at home. Obviously, all the big reviewers are live streaming. They have
Yeah.
the panel room where they're just revealing and revealing in that slideshow and talking about new figures. And I remember when Kingpin was revealed, and I was watching that live stream, and I was seeing all these waves and build a figures, and the Beast was revealed. I was freaking out. I was so excited.
I remember screaming when Doom was revealed.
Yep. Oh my God, I remember Doctor Doom too. I remember Doctor Doom so
But
clearly.
that could either be it actually is a soft year for reveals, or they couldn't show everything because of COVID. You know what I
That's
mean? So
true.
I don't know.
And we have New York STCC, we have Toy Fair to look forward to. I mean, there's even HasCon. I mean, there's definitely these events, whether they're online or in person, coming up that will be giving us more reveals. But it did feel a little light this year, and who knows the reason behind that.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I really need to get past this Batman so I can get War Machine and then backtrack and get Stan and Spawn.
Yep.
Oh, did you hear about the big stink with the Spawn Kickstarter?
No. Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I think so. About the articulation, right?
yeah, I was like, bro, only Todd, bro. What is his deal with articulation?
I don't know, dude. And
What
that's
is
why I
his
hate
deal?
people defending him. He makes stupid like he's not amazing at creating toys. Like everyone's like he's the best toy maker. I'm like, no, he's really not. Like he is missing out on articulation. Everyone's saying his sculpting is the best in the game, and I honestly don't think that's true. I think
I think the sculpting is really good. I don't think it's the best like
but he
in the
very
game.
much hits and misses is why I don't think it's the best in
Yeah.
the game. I think the Harry Potter figures, for example, the sculpting was not there. And they're very soft sculpting. Like if it was the details and the paint job, I would obviously acknowledge the sculpt and just say the paint was bad. But it is like the sculpt doesn't have the details in the faces. The jackets, obviously the clothing are really good, but then like it's always they're not soft goods, so it's really weird to kind of photograph them with so many wrinkles and like stuff, and so they hit, like miss kind of like that, but then they hit the park with Flashpoint Batman, Thomas Wayne. We have amazing, obviously Red Hood and Nightwing looking good, and a lot of their TMNT sculpts. Or sorry, that's NECA. I don't even know what I'm talking about. And even their Batman, honestly, the one from that 2-pack with the Lantern Core, I think was in that, or the Alien. I forget which one it was, but
I
that
didn't
looked
see
good
that.
too. It's the one that Diego always shoots from them, and he's like talking about how it's going to be an amazing line. It has the white, or not the white, the yellow symbol. It has really, really pointy ears. It's very comic based, but either way, but yeah. So I think McFarlane will be doing good, better than they've ever done. But I still don't think they're anywhere on the level of Hasbro or even almost any other toy company besides obviously like Mattel.
Freaking Mattel, bro.
Freaking Mattel.
If you guys thought I hated single joints, then you have not met me in Mattel.
Yeah. Mattel is just something else.
Mattel is something. I still need to get Alfred. I'm hoping I can get that at some point.
I do love that Alfred figure. That is an amazing
He might
Amazing
be
figure.
too big for Hush Batman, but I can honestly just fudge it.
See, and everyone always, I specifically Diego. This is the reason why Diego doesn't think Hush Batman's gonna be the definitive Batman. But honestly, like I don't think he's gonna be that small. Mafex, when you look at size comparisons, they've never been small in the past. They've matched their own scale very well. But I mean, their
Yeah.
Miles Morales, their Spider Man is the same height as Pizza Spidey. So it's
Oh,
like,
it is. I never
yeah.
saw that.
So they've never. I don't think they've ever released anything on the small side. That's mainly Bandai. Bandai's famous for having really small figures, and Mafex sometimes has matched that. Like their Homecoming Spidey's the same as the Bandai Homecoming Spidey, but that's keeping in the MCU line where their comic book stuff always seems to be pretty on point. So I think this is going to be roughly the same size as Mezco Batman for sure, because Mezco Batman's a little on the short side. Probably not like Mattel Batman and like those, DC Essential or not Essentials Icons Batmans, because those are obviously a little taller. But it'll definitely work well with Legend suited bodies and a lot of the 6-inch figures we have to kind of play around with that Batman. So I
Yeah,
think
I
the
just
Alfred may be a tiny bit tall, but I don't think it's going to be anything where it's like super noticeable and you can't shoot him with. You know what I mean?
yeah, I just with Hush Batman being too small, I never cared about that because like, what am I gonna do? Team up shots with the
Exactly.
zero
Yeah.
other DC figures I have.
I
So,
can't wait for
but
that Superman though. Oh my god, that and the Batman.
I really hope I can get that
I hope you can too.
because I have a soft spot for Superman. He's not one of my favorite characters because from what I've the stuff I've read quite a bit, but he's just not like super exciting to me most of the time.
Yeah.
But you know, the '79 movie was one of the first superhero movies I watched, and All Star Superman is one of my favorite comic books.
Yep.
So I really want to have like Superman is just one of those characters that just no matter what, I just have a good feeling about that character.
Yeah.
So I really want to get a figure of that just to kind of try and do shots that kind of express how I feel about that character. But I need Batman more because that'll be way easier to shoot for me. You know what I mean? Just having him breaking bones and teeth and all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
So Brian asked me this question. I guess we can talk about this real quick before we wrap up. Would you get a Mezco Red Hood or a Mafex Red Hood?
Well, me, literally, honestly, I get both. but anyone else, that's a good question for.
Bro, you can only have one. Which one are you getting?
I would honestly get Mafex. The reason why is because I know Mafex would give us a cloth jacket.
Would they?
I think they 100%.
Because Hush doesn't have a cloth one.
That's a good point. That's not a bad point. But I think in terms of the main things that push it to limits is me is I know Mezco, they'd probably give him single jointed elbows. That's just probably the truth. If they didn't do that, he'd be pretty awesome. Limited articulation due to the cloth clothing. He would look great. But I like my Redhead obviously in poses similar to probably everyone else. Mafex is great at articulation. It goes well with Batman in that line. And honestly, I think that line of Mafex superheroes is way easier to blend with Legends and a lot of the comic-based 6-inch figures that aren't high-end. So you can really get some mixing and matching going with figures and get goons and, just figures like that from those lines. So I think there's more playability from Mafex rather than Mezco. And I love Mezco, don't get me wrong. I have Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn, and Two-Face all on pre-order for Mezco whenever those drop. I think Harley Quinn's actually dropping this week, but because I'm trying to build that team of Mezco Batman, but I think Mafex is easily the one to go with in the end because it's just so much easier to pose and you can get him in some really good shots and he'll come with some good accessories, and I think that's the move.
Yeah. I see, here's the thing, I'm torn because on the one hand, Mafex will move better and it would go with Hush. But on the other hand, there's a possibility of a plastic coat. There's a possibility of that. There's also
and again with Mezco, you're obviously getting the cloth coat that can be wired or jacket, and then you're also probably getting multiple head sculpts that look amazing and a ton of guns. You already know because the thing about some of these plastic lines, I don't think Mafex has ever shied away too much, but their guns don't look great. You know, they don't look super detailed. They don't have magazines that can come out. They aren't like
Yeah.
Hasbro's famous obviously for not giving us real guns. You know, they give us Nerf guns and like they've been getting better about it, but still not amazing. Where Mezco's giving us real guns with clips and scopes and a ton of them. I mean, if you look at Wick, he comes with I think at least like almost 20 guns and knives and grenades, and I think they would
Yeah.
easily deck out Red Hood in a ton of different accessories and holsters that work, and it'd be fantastic. So now I'm actually kind of torn. I don't know which I'd go with.
Right. And with Mafex, there's also a possibility that it can just look a little weird like Cyclops did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it's
So
always
I'm
up in the air.
torn because Mezco, it'll be, it'll 100% be a cloth coat. The weapons will be absolutely fantastic. They might
Yep.
give us a battle damaged head, all this stuff.
Yep.
But there's a possibility he'll have single joints.
Yep. That's literally the main thing is the possibility of single joints.
So I would need to see both. You know what I mean? I would need to like their gambits, right? I would pick Mafex Gambit over Mezco Gambit any day, but I might take I can't think of another character right now. But so I'm
I
torn.
mean, what do you think versus Mafex versus Mezco Gambit? I mean, those are two that have been released for pre-orders that are pretty amazing, honestly. And I think Mafex, because again, we're getting
Yeah.
if we can get cloth from Mafex, I think that would be the move. But see, the thing is for Mezco, they don't flourish in that kind of arena where Mafex does. Where Mafex, we're going to get effects and obviously, the cards and the staff and the cloth. But in terms of guns and making figures that are like really proficient in that and like very, I guess, I don't even know how to describe it, like military base, like Punisher, John Wick,
Yeah.
like
Blade.
they excel. Yeah, Blade. Even Agent Gomez, they excel at giving us the guns and the knives and the grenades and like those accessories, which is what Red Hood really needs. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm like torn who would give us the better figure. Because Gambit, it's obvious. But then if Mafex made a Punisher, I still wouldn't take him over the Mezco Punisher. I wouldn't. Because the Mezco
Yeah.
Punisher is just insanely... And again, it doesn't go well with Marvel Legends as much, but it doesn't matter because it's just the detail and how photogenic it is and the articulation and the accessories just make it insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really torn about that. I would have to see the both of them.
Exactly.
Because there's just it's two different things. Like if you ask me, would you get a Mafex Red Hood or a Revoltech Red Hood? I'm like Mafex, obviously. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, exactly.
would you take a McFarlane Red Hood or a
There's no
anything
question.
other than
But these are
McFarlane?
two, I mean, at this point right now in collecting, these are two pretty high up combating companies that are doing really great work. Obviously they have misses.
Yeah.
But they're doing pretty consistently good work. Mezco obviously missing a little more with their Gomez. I love their Gomez releases, but they're missing the collectors by not releasing more of the 112 line and single jointed elbows. And Mafex now on more of a streak of hitting it on. But they're so different in how they approach figures that it's almost impossible to choose from. And the price range, the problem is they're like basically the exact same for the most part. So it's really neck and neck. I'm like, it's which style, which like that you're gonna actually want.
I tell you what, if Mafex was like $20 less, I would probably always go with Mafex.
Yeah, agreed.
But the similar price range just kind of makes it a little difficult. I don't know.
Exactly. And 796 is talking about how the Mafex Deadpool is pretty tall. So, like I said, Batman could be a good height, and I think he will be, but we'll see. You were saying how the Mafex, the animated series Batman looks dope. Mezco should release an accessory pack. Ooh, weapons and mainly effect pieces would probably cost $85, and the limit of 2 you
That
can
would
get.
be sweet.
Well, you could definitely.
'Cause-
I mean, if it's $85, they would pack a shit ton into that, like a ton of guns.
Yeah.
I mean, rifles and snipers and bazookas and pistols and a ton of flare effects and grenades and knives. Like they would do a really good job of that. I feel like.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff by them. That's why I want Red Hood from them. It's like, yeah, guns and effects. That
Yep.
they're the
Yep.
best
But
in the 6
100%
inch.
Agreed.
You know.
I just don't know if Mezco thinks at least that they really tailor to toy photography collectors or actual just regular collectors.
Well, if you look at their contests,
That's true. That's a very good point. Also some news real quick, but everyone it seems like today is finding the Spidey Wave at their Target. So
Oh my
I'm seeing on
god.
Instagram, I'm literally scrolling, and people are saying Target for the win. My Target had them. So if anyone gets a chance to go out to their Target and find them, I went today. They said they're in the back. Their street date is August 1st, so I don't know if I have to wait till then, but I'm going to be going every single day. I just hope that some stupid worker doesn't put them out for someone to buy, and then another collector scoops them. I will be so disappointed. And again, the only really one I'm going after right now at this point will probably be Spider-Man. I might get a second Goblin because I want to try customizing him a little more and get him a little more to my liking. But other
Yeah.
than that, I think those are the only two I will actually get again.
Yeah,
From that wave.
Spider-Man is priority number one from that
Yep,
wave. I think for me
100%
it
agree.
goes Spider-Man, Peter, Gwen. Well, I think Peter and Gwen are kind of tied. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then Daredevil, Goblin.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's.
first.
Well, what about Electro?
Oh, I forgot about Electro.
I think he
I
was
don't know.
second for me because I needed to complete the Sinister
Yeah,
Six, and I really
I
wanted
don't
him.
have an Electro, but
He
I'm
might
not
create. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not really a huge fan of the buck that he's on. I wish he had
See, but
butterfly
he
joints.
does. He has butterfly joints.
What? I thought
Yeah.
he was on the Spider UK.
No, I promise you, he has butterfly joints.
What? What buck
Yeah.
is he on?
I don't. I think it might be. Is it Cannon? No, it's not. Not Cannonball. Sunfire. I think he's on Sunfire, but I don't know.
Are you sure? I really thought that
I
this
own
dude
the
was on...
figure. I'm 100%. I'm watching my review real quick, just again to double
Bro, I'm
check.
looking at the body right now. It's Spider UK.
I promise you, he has butterfly joints. Wait,
Bro,
hold
I'm
on.
looking at the pictures. It's Spider UK.
Oh, he doesn't have butterfly joints. I'm dumb. And I own the figure. That was sad.
Bro, have you opened it?
Yes, I have. I reviewed it. It's displayed right now. I took a photo of it yesterday for the thumbnail. I don't know how I didn't know this. I swear he had butterfly. What figure came with butterfly joints that I was surprised about? It was one of. I swear to God, they gave it to one of these figures.
I don't know.
One
But
of them.
I don't know. I don't know where Electro ranks, but Spider-Man is priority number one. I just this is the worst month for it to be dropping
Yeah,
because of
exactly.
Batman. Yeah.
My laptop died, so we're gonna have to wrap this up real quick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you guys for watching our Comic-Con Shutter Larva. Again, we're going to be filming very soon, so be ready for that. We'll have a guest on. It'll be awesome, and we'll try to, again, get back into the swing of things a little more in terms of every week trying to do an episode. But again, life's been kind of crazy and throwing some curveballs over the past week or two, and everyone's been pretty busy, but we're happy to get this out with Comic-Con going and can't wait to have more Shutterbugs content coming to you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, that was the funniest ending ever. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, boom.
Give me money.